Has the Cybertruck event impacting the stock price? Tesla held the Cybertruck delivery event at 3 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon, and I streamed that live, and we were watching the stream of Tesla with the actual 5-minute chart of Tesla, and no, there's no impact yet on the stock market. So let's look at it. So Tesla closed down $4.06, that's 1.66%, closed at 240.08. This is where it closed at. Post-market, we seem to be down by $2.70 more. So let's look at what we have here on our chart. The stock is basically undecided because we are into this downtrend. We have been into it since July. I'm not talking about the bigger one. I'm just talking about the small one. So this is the downtrend. This is what is happening. People are losing faith in Tesla. They don't want to pay as much for that stock. This is what this is telling us. Recently, though, we had a little bit of a move up since the beginning of the month. So we have had a little bit of a move up right here. But that move up has stopped. And right now, we have two patterns, a pattern of a stock that's moving up and a pattern where the stock is moving down. So now we are into a confluence and this is going to get resolved at some point. So right now we cannot break this downward resistance. We tried yesterday, but we could not do it. So not enough buyers want to buy Tesla stock at a higher price to push the sellers back. So it's the sellers that are still in control so far. And today we also have a red candle. Not all is lost. Not all is lost. So we are basically into a congestion zone also. A third pattern between 226.85 and 244. This is where we are at. So right now, the question that people ask all the time, is it the time to buy? Is it the time to buy? It was the time to buy. November 14th. November 14th, we had the buy signal. And basically, we are pretty much at the same place, except that we have rebounded. We have rebounded on the resistance. And when we had the buy signal, we were coming from below. We were coming from this part here and coming up. This was an impulse. And now, yes, we are pretty much at the same place, but we have touched that resistance and we caved into it. So this is less of a good news because now we know that even though the buyers tried to go higher, the sellers won that round. This is less the time to buy unless we break some new resistance. If we break some new resistance, then it's always the time to buy when we have a fresh break of resistance. The fresh break of resistance was here. In the meantime, we are going to let the stock decide what it wants to do. If we break this support line, this is going to be even worse, and the last straw is going to be the 226.85. If we break that, then it means that most likely we are going to be visiting the support side of the bullish channel, of the bearish channel. I would wait before buying until we have a new break of resistance, which might happen tomorrow, or next week, or in the next 2 months. Nobody knows, but we know where the milestones are. The stake in the sand, we know where it is. If we break that milestone, then we know that we have a step change. We don't time the market, but we watch the market break new resistances. So let's look at some Tesla news. So obviously it's the Cybertruck that is the big news. If we take a look at the features a little bit, 11,000 pounds towing capacity, 340 mile range, 2.6 seconds 0 to 60. So this is pretty quick, but that's the best model, the more expensive one. Yes, it has no paint, shatter resistant glass. So it's armor glass that can resist the impact of a baseball. So they don't claim anymore that a steel ball cannot go through the glass. So they changed their tune a little bit. It has 2,500 pounds of payload, 11,000 pounds of towing capacity. So this is a pretty tough truck. It can pack a lot of stuff. There's a trunk in the front, a frunk. It can hold an a 4x8 sheet if you lower the back door. And of course you can lock the back, so this is a really nice feature. Under the vault bed cover, this is how they talk about it. This is a great truck. This is a great truck. It can power your tools, just like Tesla had mentioned. It's a 5-seater. I thought it was going to be a 6-seater with the middle row, with the middle seat being a seat, but you could also lower it to transform it into an armrest, but apparently this feature has been gone. There's the screen in the back seat, so this is great audio. You can charge pretty much everything in the car, and you have the bio weapon defense mode, just like the Model S and X. Plenty of room, nice glass ceiling, and there are some accessories that are Tesla designed. So see here we have a light bar that illuminates path to 525 yards. That's more than 5 football fields. Installation required. This is great because this is not changing the design. It's keeping the angular design intact. There seems to also be a tent, an angular tent, so I think that's pretty nice to have that. There are 3 versions. The rear-wheel drive version available in 2025, full of 6.5, range of 250 miles, towing capacity of 7,500. All-wheel drive, 340 miles, and if you take the bigger battery, it's 470 miles. Acceleration 3.9, so that's pretty impressive. This is towing 11,000 pounds. And the Cyber Beast, pretty much the same, just a little bit less range than the all-wheel drive, but 2.6 second acceleration and the same towing capacity. And if we click on the order button, this is where you have the prices. So it starts at 50K. It starts at 50K. There's a federal tax credit of up to 7,500. So price assumes the federal tax credit of 7,500 in the US. So basically, this is a little bit higher than, it starts at 60. You can add 7,500 right here. You can reserve one today at $250. That's fully refundable. Yes, this is a great truck. This is a great truck, and you should watch my live where I streamed the Cybertruck event, and they have raced it against the Porsche 911. This was pretty funny. You should take a look at that. And they also have done some tractor pull with it. So it's a great truck. It's super strong. Myself, I'm just a little bit disappointed in terms of the event itself. In terms of launches, Tesla is not that great. The Model X event was great, rehearsed, and Elon had a nice presentation, and this one was okay. It was just okay. Elon is running the show, and I would have run things differently. But this is a great truck, although it's going to take a year plus to have an impact on the company's revenues. So let's look at the rest of the stock market. So let's take a look at the VIX. So VIX down 0.08. It wants to go higher, but is always squished down, so we are happy to see this. US bonds are jumping a little bit, but we don't have stochastic over 60, so just like when we had it here, we did not believe it. We should not really believe this green candle yet. US dollar starting to go back up. And because of this move up, we can now see that we have a low. We have our second low. So we can draw this new channel right here. And lo and behold, it's gonna fit. Everything always fits. If you draw your lines, everything always fits. So this is where we are. Now we have clarity. This is the bullish channel. They're pretty much the definitive bullish channel. Let's see if it holds, but the same slope of increase that we have had since, I would say, February of this year. This is happening right now. We had a move down recently, but now it seems it wants to go back up. We'll see with the VIX and with the US bond. If everything starts to move up, then the stock market are going to do another round down. And that could also include Tesla. Let's take a look at our EV stocks. So Rivian, yesterday we caved into our downward resistance. We are caving even more today. Xpeng, we are outside of our bullish channel. So I think that the nice little bull run that we had recently might be over. I don't know, but we are seeing some weakening in many places. NIO, we had not seen any strength. Apple, we had this nice move here, and now we are stabilizing. We are stabilizing quite well, and the jury is still out on this one. All of our indicators are still good. So let's just wait and see if Apple can start to move back up again. ARM is stabilizing also at around, closed at 61.50, part of our bullish channel. So everything seems to stabilize a little bit. Palantir is still into its bullish channel right here, but it's also going sideways at the same time. It cannot break 20.45. I tried to break it not too long ago with one candle. So sometimes to make sure that a break is a valid one, you can wait for a second candle, because in this case it would have saved you from buying into this. And Nvidia is dropping down a little bit, down almost 3%. Let's look at our indices. Wow. Dow Jones is ripping. S&P 500, green day. It's having a green day, but basically going sideways. NASDAQ, red day, wants to go down a little bit. Silver, we have some caving in a little bit, and we are just sitting back on the support at 1583, still part of the bullish channel, so that's fine. Silver moving higher and higher, close to 864. Close to 864. If it breaks 864 right away, it's going to be hard to believe that it wants to go higher, because this is just too straight of a move. It needs to pause a little bit in order to continue. Bitcoin wants to move higher. See, it wants to move higher. If we draw the lows right here, we see that they are increasing. So once we break 37,929, then the fence is going to be open. And Ripple, no stochastic, but at least it's maintaining itself quite well. And Nouveau Monde Graphite. Nouveau Monde Graphite, it's still struggling. It's struggling to maintain itself above 251. It is above 251, but we see a struggle here. We see a weakening in stochastic. So we'll see if it can maintain this. So let's see what is going to happen tomorrow with Tesla. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.